Hello, folks, wherever you are in this great, beautiful world, whatever time of day it is. I hope you are having a bright and beautiful day. Not sure what else to say. Just a couple reminders. We are now at 55 subscribers. When we get to 100, we will be doing a giveaway. What is that giveaway? Well, it will be a commission done by me for free and sent to you via for free, wherever you are. And it'll be a character of your choosing. What else shall we say? Um, I am open for commissions, $25. I have a few videos of me doing a few characters. I will be continuing to do them, and you can just watch to see how good you think, if you think I'm good enough to get a commission off of for $25. It doesn't matter, headshot, whatever. I am better at the full body, I will admit, than a real big headshot. But hey, maybe I should do headshots, a couple of headshots. But and after we get finished going through the Bible, where did I put that book? Oh, I'll be right back. And we will be finished just in under a month. We're going to be going through this book, page or two at a time. It's like 200 pages, so maybe less, more. I'm not sure how many pages at a time. I don't want to go chapter by chapter because that might be a little lengthy for each session, especially with drawing. You guys can let me know. It is available on Amazon. Used, it's like starts at like under $2, and new, I think it starts at like 6.5. So if you want to get it to follow along or read it for yourself, so be it. That's announcements done that I can think of. Oh, and please watch to the end. If you don't like the Bible reading portion, skip over it to the drawing portion. Okay, well, so I'm going to share, and we are in Zechariah. With today, we have 29 days, or 27 chapters in 27 books in the New Testament, and we with today and tomorrow for no today. Okay, more. I think there's 30 days left in the whole thing, so including today. So. All right, I'm not sure. Thought we. I don't know. I'll check it when we're done. Anyways, I'll let you guys see. So I'm gonna share. We're close to being done the Old Testament. Okay, so let's bring. Oh, wrong thing up. We are in Zechariah 9. And we are reading verse 9 down to whatever. Let's see. I need comments up just in case somebody comes in. Rejoice greatly, daughter of Zion. I'm putting the of in there. Shout, daughter of Jerusalem. See, your king comes to you, righteous and victorious, lowly, riding on a donkey, on a colt, on the foal of a donkey. And that's how Jesus came into Jerusalem that one day, just before he had the Last Supper, as it's called. I will take away I will take away the chariots from Ephraim, and the war horses from Jerusalem, and will the bow will be broken. He will proclaim peace to the nations. His rule will extend from sea to sea. Okay, just give me a second. I'm bringing this up on my YouTube so I can see what you guys are seeing. Uh, on my tablet, I should say, not on my YouTube. Bringing up my YouTube on my tablet. There. Um, from sea to sea. And from the river to the ends of the earth. As for you, because of the blood of my covenant with you, I will free your prisoners from the waterless pit. Return to your fortress, you prisoners of hope. Even now I announce that I will restore twice as much to you. I will bend Judah, and I will bend as I bend my bow. I will fill it with Ephraim. I will rouse your sons, Zion, against your sons, Greece, and will make you like a warrior's sword. The Lord will appear over them, his arrow will flash like lightning, the sovereign Lord will sound the trumpet, he will march in the mighty storms of the south. And the Lord Almighty will shield them. They will destroy and overcome with sling stones. They will drink and roar as with wine. They will be full like a bowl using used for springs, the corners of the altar. The Lord their God will save his people on that day. As a shepherd saves his flock, they will sparkle in his land like jewels in a crown. How attractive and beautiful they will be. Grain will make young men thrive, and the new wine, young women. Okay, so that's all I'm going for now. Not a lot of comments on it. I know with prophecy, I never seem to have a lot of comments. Because some things it's hard to interpret. I hate to say it, but it is. And I'm not as versed in things like that as maybe I should be. For me, it's all going to pan out the way it should. And as I've said before, uh, Jewish prophecy, from what I've learned, usually has twofold: something in the near future and something in the far future. And while separating the two can be hard, to say the least, especially if you don't know your history. And I don't know my history quite as well as I probably would like or should. So, um, you want to know more? I suggest do some research. So, anyways, it's on with the show. This is it. Okay, this here is my character, Insecta. And is she relation to Insecto? Yes. She is his great 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 granddaughter. With the title The Coming King, I decided to do the do the thing of coming characters. Um there's a time referred to in Revelation for the last days, called the little season to which Satan will be loosed in. And I'm going to make that like my Legion of Superheroes era. And a whole bunch of heroes will emerge. Future heroes will emerge. And it's going to start off with 7 characters. And they will be the descendants of the original Holy Warriors. And the Holy Warriors are my characters, the Canadian Shield. Oh, guess it might help if I grab my graphics tablet. Well, as I was saying, those characters are the Canadian Shield, for the originals, anyways. The Canadian Shield, Snowdrift, the Flame, Insecto, Ozona, the Wiz, and Electi. So she is a descendant of Insecto, but I took a little something from Spanish, masculine and feminine thing, or because I was at a phase in my life where I really liked this one Spanish girl, lady, and I had learned a little bit about the Spanish language, so I decided she would name herself Insecta because in the Spanish language, the feminine usually ends it with an A. The masculine, oh, and I had already decided he was Insecto before that. So that had nothing to do with his naming, but I didn't really want to name her Insecto for whatever reason. Well, you just want the future character to be named something different to distinguish them from each other. Okay, this is just definitely. I know she's upside down, but when I did it originally, she was. I probably drew sort of. I turned the paper upside down, but I wanted her to be flying upside down, so it's weird to be doing it suddenly upside down. I almost want to flip my head, flip my laptop. Hey, Action. How are you, Stuart? Are we still on for tomorrow? Okay, so 4 o'clock. Trolling. Yeah, there's been a lot of junk going on in the Comicsgate community the last couple days. Gotta watch some of it just so I know what the freak is going on. I don't like being involved in bullarchy. If I can help it. Not that I'm all that involved because I'm just a watcher, meaning I'm not can't watch, I'm only participating. Cool. I like crazy stuff. Crazy is good. Or can be. Okay. Uh, true. So besides work, what have you been up to? And as you may or may not have noticed, probably have noticed, I've started Monday through Friday doing a live drawing stream. I haven't narrowed down a time for it just because all the other comic skaters seem to, you never know when they're going to start and when they're going to end. And until I get myself a big enough audience, I don't want to be going up against them for when they're chatting because any audience that I might have, I think some of them come from them, so they go on. Cool. That's always good seeing art. The people love it. I haven't been catching your stream much, unfortunately. Oh, I was supposed to check. Pixel Trader was supposed to, I think, have a live stream today. Meant to catch it, but oh well. I was watching recapping on Ethan's morning show. He's supposed to be going on sometime today again. Oh, you took the Signal comics off your thing. I just noticed. What made you do that? And just narrow it down to the action artist. Still there, action? Oh, okay. No problem. I was just wondering. Okay, so I think we got everything fully done. You're not fully clean, and let's choose us fully clean. Da, da, da. Options. Them. So let's grab the grey first. Oh, we'll keep it that way. Oh, that looks nice. So that, my friends, is Insecta, the great descendant of Insecto. No PDF, please. Or make your yeah. Well, this stuff is older stuff. As you can see, I'm not sure what you whether you watched my whatchamacallit, my live drawings the last couple of days. They're a lot better. I'm just I want to recolor, go over a lot of my old stuff that I have on the computer, and I figure this is a way to do it. Makes it interesting for people. Recolor it because you know looks a lot bland. And then, as you can tell, I'm not doing a lot of shading with these. Maybe at some point, as you notice, I'm saving them in um, an AI format, so I can come back and go over them or whatever, add more detail or whatever if I want to, add a layer, and then most of these are quick, easy drawings. When I take my time, I'm a heaven of a lot better. And that's my problem is for years I wasn't taking my time. I know if I do you know the B shape and the S shape rule, Bernie? No, I don't. Or I don't think I do. I can I can see a B there, if that's what you mean. Like, you know, and a B and if that's what it means. S, I'm not sure how that would fit in. Okay, sounds good. This is my character, Black Magic. Option. I do have her colored, just not here. New layer. We're gonna have to get a colored version of her so I can get my coloring. Villains. Comics. Characters. Villains. Mm, Sort by type. Nothing less. No, there. No, in the chat beside. Another thing I've been learning through watching Ethan, Mike, and all that is learning not to eyeball stuff, at least for straight lines or whatever, or circle type stuff. That just means it's closer to a whole new work week, though. Well, if you don't want me to say that, then I guess you won't want me to say that the weekend always feels too short and seems to go by way too fast. Where the work week just seems to drag out. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Well, hopefully, if we can get the comic books off the ground. I've been planning on making mine monthly for years, so that's my problem getting it to go. Getting the artists and doing it monthly. Just like what's his name? Mike. Yeah, it's definitely acceptable. I'm thinking after my first Indiegogo, depending on how much I raise, I want to I want to raise enough to print the first book, obviously, and maybe hopefully pay enough for raise enough to start paying somebody to draw the Canadian Shield, and maybe get my second book drawn by somebody too. And I may or may not do indie, depending how second issue goes for Canadian Shield. I may or may not do an indie. Well, I probably have to do an Indiegogo for each book. I don't know. I just don't want to do an Indiegogo month after month for 7 months. But then again, maybe, I don't know. Maybe if I can spread it out so I only have to do like 3 or 4 of them, do one for say the Canadian Shield. Hopefully, raise enough money through that to get him started on monthly to hire somebody, and then and Snowdrift, and then maybe with my second character Snowdrift, and then maybe do one for the Flame, and then hopefully that'll get him and Insecto started. Yeah. Um, that sounds good. I'm just not sure whether, for myself, whether I'd want shareholding, because well, then you're responsible to all those people for money or whatever, and then they have possibly some say what goes on with your comics. It's sort of like if you remember the Norman, the first Spider. Yeah, you have to hold the majority, like a 90% majority. If you remember the Norman Osborn thing with in Spider-Man, with the first Spider-Man movie, he got voted out of his own company he started. So that's like, and you would think he would have been the majority shareholder, but who knows how that happened? Even with the board of trustees and all that, or the board or whatever. I'm not sure whether stuff like that can really happen, but I would think so. So I wouldn't want anything like that happening to me for my company, and then being able to decide to sell to DC or Marvel or some other pathetic company. Because I don't want my characters changed. I want approval of stuff like that. And I know you got to please the fans to a degree. And, I'll try and do that. But I'm certainly not going to make the characters who they're not. And I think that'll please the fans. Keeping the characters who they are, unlike DC and Marvel. Oh, yeah, we don't care. We'll just change anything we want to on a whim. That's why I think there's something in one of my books I wrote in. I think I'm going to rewrite it out. I got to go over it. I'm not liking it. It's just crazy. Being forced out of your own creation. Eventually, I guess I will have to have some board of directors that I'm answerable to, but I don't know how to do it. I'd have to look into it where they only get power if I've gone crazy or something like that, senile. and not making wise business decisions. But even then, it's like you want to make sure they're wise. There's a difference between wise business decisions and, yeah, it's a wise business decision to sell this company for $1 billion, or is it? Who's it wise for? Yeah, I get a bucket load of money, but I'd rather have the creative control, I think, than a bucket load of money. But yeah, I've got tons of ideas and characters. So I think I've got years worth of stuff to work with. Oh heck, I've got my first year year and a half planned out. And then I've got like stuff 6.5 years out, ideas for. Yeah, especially in the mainstream. Oh shoot. So Z. Just realized I missed a bunch of stuff. Well, not a bunch, but a bit. Yeah, especially if you get yourself quality artists and stuff. Put out storylines as good as DC and Marvel. Quality writing. And I've developed hero myself. So some better than others. I've developed heroes, villains, supporting cast, angels, demons, my own version of the Transformers. So, and heck, they're going to be introduced fairly fast into my comic universe too. Although you're not going to have the good and bad part right away. The good guys and bad guys are Transformers, Autobots, and Decepticons right away. They work for my tech genius at first. They scout around the city for stuff happening. Ah, it's in the book of Jasper. Yeah, I didn't think Esau killed them. They were too far apart in timeline. Nimrod is like at the Tower of Babel, and the Esau's like 200 years later. Oh shoot, I forgot a line there. Oh well. Oh, jeez. Yeah, but Esau, Jacob, and Esau. Well, okay, maybe not 200 years, but you got the Tower of Babel, which when God divided the people in the languages, and Abraham is a little bit later, and then with Esau being no, no, not Jacob and Esau are what's his name? Son. Uh, Isaac's sons. So you have Abraham, Isaac, and then Jacob and Esau. And we know Abraham didn't have Jacob. I mean, yeah, people did live hundreds of years, but not quite that much after the flood. This is an after the flood incident. Um, what was it? I think it was Joseph said to Pharaoh that his ancestors live hundreds of years, and Joseph we know is Jacob's father. You know, do a little bit of look in Genesis. I would suggest personally. I'm not saying take my word for it. Look in Genesis, see the numbers. Well, I'm not sure whether it says the age. Like Abraham was when he was. Well, we know what age Abraham was when he had Isaac. It's Isaac, right? Yeah. So you got to put the. We know Nimrod was at the time of the Tower of Babel. So you've got to do your math from there. The best you can, because like I said, Jacob doesn't. Isaac, it doesn't say how old. I don't think it says how old he was when he had thing, but he was probably only like 20s or 30s, I would guess. And then when he would have had Jacob, 14 years. No, no, Isaac, sorry. When he had, when Isaac had Jacob, I would see how much it's but the Book of Jasper. Oh, hello to the third person watching. I think you'd have to see how much it lines up with. There may have been some giants. Yeah, we know there were giants because there were giants in the land of Israel, Canaan, that the things took over. Oh, heck. By one person I listened to, most likely Noah was. Hey, Bob, how are you? Don't mind me in action. We're on a bit of a, I'd say, just talking about a couple guys from the Bible and what their whether one guy existed at the same time as another guy. I just finished. Well, I shouldn't say just finished, but I finished doing my character Insecta. And action just had to go away for a sec. So this is one of my villains. Although I'm not sure when she's going to appear. Her name is Black Magic. Uh, doo, doo, doo. Okay. You can see him. I know it's hard to see that I'm coloring these. It's because they're white, and I've just got a little bit of black in there for the gradient shading. So, oh, crud. So, how was your day in Italy? Well, how is it over in Italy today? Wrong way. Seeing as how you're listening at about 7:20 at night. It's raining and school will start soon. Ah, school will start soon for the day. Oh, or just for kids and all that? Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that. Oh, first day of the year. Okay, you guys start in September. Kids here in Canada and the States started on Tuesday. They start after a day we call Labor Day. So I'm not sure whether you guys have that over there or not. Yeah, for over here, it's school starts for element. Oh, you don't. uh, Over here, Canada and the States, school for kids starts in September. The first weekend in the first Monday. I think it's the first Monday or the first. Might not be the first Monday necessarily if Monday is the first day of the month, because then the next weekend I think would be the Labor Day weekend. I don't think it would count as Labor Day weekend if the Monday fell on the first day fell on the Monday and there was nothing in the weekend. But I could be wrong. It's been a while since I went to school, so but it's basically the first Monday we have a holiday called Labor Day, and the first Tuesday, and it's always a Monday. I think, like I was saying, the first Monday in September, and the kids go back to school on the Tuesday right after it. So after the 2 month summer vacation. So yeah, yeah, not necessarily because it's Wednesday. So second Wednesday, I guess. Yeah, Nimrod may have lived only 215 years, but you also got to remember Abraham was born sometime after Nimrod, and I'm not sure when, how much longer after Nimrod, because I don't think we're given exact dates for stuff like that. Because his father moved to Cush beforehand. I think it's Cush or Cush or something like that. I'm not sure how to pronounce it offhand, but as after the fall, after the Tower of Babel incident. I'm gonna be lazy and just grab the gray from her eyes to do her lips. So there is black magic. As you may be able to tell from the name, she is a master of the mystical arts, as they so like to call it in. Yeah, the Tower of Babel. Terra lived 70 years, and he begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. This is the Count of Terra. So, I'm not sure what time Terra, how old he was when he left. Yeah, I'm gonna switch, but since I'm done this, I'm gonna switch back to stop sharing. Okay. Well, that may be true, and I don't doubt that, people, they battled stuff and that, and they probably knew the people of Canaan were evil, the practices, they would have known about them, I'm sure. If we know nowadays, I'm sure they did then. So I don't know. We know that Terah was 70 when he conceived Abraham. Abraham may have been a triplet. That's interesting. I never noticed that before. Um, so yeah, so I know they lived long back then, even Abraham, because Abraham lived like 200 years. He was 100 when he, gave birth to Isaac, and I don't think were told when Isaac, how old Isaac was when he gave birth to Esau and Jacob. Didn't know what. The triplet thing? Well, I don't know for sure. It's just then Nimrod probably would have been like 300 or 400 years old. I would guess based on this, because Terra, I think it's Terra that comes out of thing. Let's see, verse 27 of chapter 11. We know Terah lived 205 years. It says here in verse 32. Terah became the father of Abraham, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran became the father of Lot while his father Terah was still alive. Haran died in Ur of the Chaldeans in this land. Abraham and Nahor both married. The name of Abraham's wife was Sarah. The name of Nahor's my wife was Michal, and she was the daughter of Haran, the father of both Micah and Ishkar. Now Sarah was barren and had no children. Okay. Um, I guess you're getting that out of the book of thing, but Jasper, I guess. We know the Tower of Babel is where it said he had things. So all I know it says here that Terra 70. Okay, let's see. Because it doesn't give a lineage for Nimrod. I'm just skimming over verse 11, chapter 11 here. They come, let us build a tower so that many. But the Lord came down and scattered. Where does it say Nimrod here? Yeah. Uh, I know Nimrod's supposed to be part of the Tower of Babel. Jeez, I can't figure it out. Earth was divided. Depending on where you go with. Yeah, I'm looking right in Genesis right now. They found settled Shinir, and they said, "Come, let us make bricks. Da, da, da. Come, let us build a city with a tower to reach the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves." But the Lord came down. Okay, you know what? I think we lost somebody here. Sorry, Bob. Let's see. Nimrod. Okay, full chapter. Okay, let's go back. I just want full chapter for 10. Let's see. Okay, so we have Nimrod. I looked up Nimrod on Gateway. He's mentioned in Genesis is chapter 10, verses 8 and 9, in First Chronicles chapter 1, verse 10, and Micah chapter 5, verse 6. Okay, verses 8 and 9. Cush was the father of Nimrod, who became a mighty warrior on the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. That's why it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. First, the first centers of the kingdom of Babylon were. So it looks like he was born just before Babylon. The whole thing in Babylon took place. If I'm reading that correctly. What's it say here in First Chronicles? That's verse 10. It says he was a mighty hunter. Okay, so Micah verse 6. 5 verse 6. Who ruled the land of the Assyrians with the sword, the land of Nimrod with a drawn sword. He will deliver us from the Assyrians. So there it looks like the Assyrians came from Nimrod, possibly, unless the land of Nimrod is slightly different than the land of the Assyrians. But it does go on right away to mention he'll deliver us from the Assyrians. So when they invade our land and march across our borders. I know people, so it could be wrong that he was trying to rule Babylon. Um, from that, he went to the land of Assyria and built Nineveh, Rehoboth, Irir, Kali, Rezin, which is between Nineveh and Kelah, which is the great city. Egypt was the father of blah blah blah. Now we assume he did rule in Babylon, but I guess we can't be sure because I can't see the Bible actually saying that. Uh, and I've watched a video too, something that you might want to watch. Some of these ages here, like the 35 and the 30, there might supposed to be like 100 years added on to them. Some of these here, I could be wrong though. It could be wrong. I'll have to find that video. Maybe share it with you. Yeah, definitely interesting. Well, I'm in verse 11 from 10 on. Reading the different ages of people from Shem to Abram, or was, yeah. So that could screw up the timeline too. it's and it's given why that these numbers are suddenly shortchanged. Uh, might take me a bit today to find that. It's hard to find stuff like that. It's a video I watched like 2 or 3 months ago. I found it cool. I thought I should have liked it if I didn't. It's just because couple other books have these numbers being higher, like 100 years higher. Like, Peg Leg being instead of a 30 when he begat Ryu being 130, or Eber instead of being 34 being 134. But I don't want to get too involved in that on this stream. I'd like to do a stream like discussing stuff like this. Not that I'm any sort of scholar. I watch stuff, I learn, and I don't want to bore some people. So if I find it later today, I'll put a link to it on your discussion page or action. I think for now, though, I am going to do my last bit of stuff. Remember to hit that thumbs up button, people. Subscribe if you've yet to subscribe. Um, Hit the notification though when I'm putting up stuff or going live. What else can you do? Oh, comment, share. Check out my other channel, Cost Comics. And they're not yet there, but in the bottom will be a bunch of different links to web page, Facebook page and thing, Twitter, Instagram. And I think that's about it. I guess bye for now. God bless. See you tonight on my live action drawing stream, I am by request doing Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece, an anime series. I have no idea who the guy is. I've never, well, I looked him up yesterday when the person requested for tomorrow. So, oh, we got somebody back. So I will be doing him. Oh, hey, Chad! You're getting here just as I'm ending. But I will be having my live stream drawing tonight. So remember to tune in. I'm not sure what time it will be. It all depends on what's going on with the comic skate community. I have my people. I have a few people here, but a lot of you cross over into them, and I don't want to stop you from being able to watch them. So we will see everybody. Bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great and awesome day wherever you are.